Good morning class. How are you? Enjoying the mathematics? Very good. Today we will solve the questions of exercise 4.3 which is based on the quadratic equations. In this chapter, first I will tell you about the discriminant. Quadratic equation is of the form ax square plus bx plus c. Here a, b and c are the coefficients of x square, x, and c is the constant. If d is equals to 0, then roots are equal. Roots are equal. And if d is greater than 0, then roots are real and unequal. In these two cases, only we find the value of roots because they are real. And in the first chapter, I explained that real numbers are only numbers which can be expressed on the number line. So what are the roots? If the roots are real, only then they exist. And if the roots are imaginary, then they do not exist. So when d is smaller than 0, when d is smaller than 0, at this time, both the roots of quadratic equation are imaginary. And hence, they don't exist. They don't exist. If they don't exist, so in solving the quadratic expression of polynomial, first you see the value of d. And what is equals to d? That d is known as discriminant. That discriminant d equals to b square minus 4ac. So by telling these two things, what you observe? You observe just the main point is, if b square minus 4ac is greater or equals to 0, then roots are real. And if they are real, only then they exist. And second, if b square minus 4ac is lesser than 0, then roots are imaginary, and they do not exist. So you all know that what are a, b and c? A, b and c are the coefficients of x square, x, and constant term. What is x? The variable of the given polynomial. It may be y, it may be z, whatever the things given. But in the standard form, we are very fond of writing x. So don't think it is always x. It may be y here, z here, whatever the variable. So please note these things. These are very important. And after that, I am going to solve the questions for you. The first question of this exercise says, what it says? It says, find the roots of the following quadratic equations if they exist. If they exist, only then you have to solve. And how you will determine whether the roots are exist or not? If they are real, then they exist. If they are imaginary, then they do not exist. For that, finally we have to compute the value of discriminant d. So our first question is 2x square minus 7x plus 3 equals to 0. 2x square minus 7x plus 3 equals to 0. Here, what is d? d equals to b square minus 4ac. Substitute the value of a, b and c here. What is b? b is minus 7. So square of minus 7 minus 4 into a equals to 2 and c equals to 3. Square of negative number is positive. So minus 7 into minus 7, 49. 4 2 8, 3 24. So d equals to 25. Okay, stay step further. Now see the solution of the question. What are the roots by the quadratic equation? What is the quadratic equation? Here our variable is, we are solving the given equation for x and searching for both the values of x for which the function becomes 0 and the value of variable for which the function becomes 0, that values are known as the roots or zeros. So what are the roots of quadratic equation? X equals to minus b plus minus root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. And you can also write this equation in this pattern. Everyone please pay your attention here. What is written inside the square of root? B square minus 4ac, and we all know that b square minus 4ac is equals to d. So instead of writing b square minus 4ac, we can write also d. So minus b plus minus root of d upon 2a. So what are the roots? Minus b, what is the value of b? Minus 7. Already minus is present here. So minus into minus plus minus under root of b. Already we have calculated the value of d. What is the value of d calculated by us? The value of discriminant d equals to 25. So you may write here 25 upon 2 into a. What is the value of a? 2. And 2 to the 4. Calculate this. X equals to 7 plus minus 5 upon 4. First you take positive sign. When you take positive sign, then x equals to 7 plus 5 upon 4. X equals to 3. And when you take negative sign, then you have or we have 7 minus 5 upon 4, that is equals to 2 upon 4, 1 upon 2. So what are the roots? The roots of the given polynomial, quadratic polynomials are 1 upon 3 and 1 upon 2. Both the roots exist. Why the roots are existing? Because the value of discriminant d is greater than 0. If the value of discriminant d is greater than 0, then the roots are real but not equal. Roots are equal, but roots are real but not equal. In any case, when we will find d equals to 0, at that time we will find that both the roots are equal. This is the very first question of the exercise. In the first question, it is only asking for whether roots are exist or not. So you have to only solve up to this. But since d is greater than 0, so roots are real, and roots are real, and we will find the value of root. I hope that you will have understood this question very clearly. Now I am approaching towards the next question. Find the roots of the quadratic equation given in question 1, already completed. See one more example of that. 2x square plus 4x plus 4 equals to 0. 2x square plus x plus 4 is equals to 0. What is this? This is the quadratic equation. Here a equals to 2, b equals to 1, c equals to 4. So first of all, what we have to do? This is the fourth part of question number 1. First of all, you find the value of b, which is equals to b square minus 4ac. So b equals to square of b minus 4 into a, 2 into c, 4. b equals to 1 minus 32. So b equals to minus 31. What is minus 31? This is negative, and you all are well aware of this fact that every negative number is lesser than the 0. Since d is lesser than the 0, therefore roots does not exist, or you can say that imaginary. The roots are imaginary, or in other words, we will write roots does not exist. Since root does not exist, so there is no need of going further to find the So question 1 and 2 is completed. Two parts are done by me and remaining you will solve. Question number 3. Find the roots of the following equations. X minus 1 upon x equals to 3. X minus 1 upon x equals to 3 where x is not equals to 0. X is not equals to 0. That means the value of x is never equals to 0. Solve this question. See the solution. LCM is x. So we have x square minus 1 is equals to 3. X may be written as x upon 1. So what is the LCM of 1 and x? X into x square minus 1 upon x. Transform it. When 3x is transposed to the other side of equals to, it becomes minus 3x minus 1 is equals to 0. Now the given expression is changed into the quadratic form. Since it is a quadratic form, then you find d equals to d square minus 4ac. d square, the value of b is minus 3, the square of minus 3 plus 9 minus 4 into a1 into c. C is also negative number. So 9 minus into minus plus 4 is 4. Yes, correct. So b equals to 13 and 13 is a positive number, so it is greater than 0, hence root exists. Hence roots exist. Then you find the value of roots. So x equals to minus b, minus is already here, minus b, so plus 3 plus minus root of b. What is b? 13. So root of 13 upon 2a. A equals to 1. These are the two roots. First one is 3 plus under root 13 upon 2 and second one is 3 minus root of 13 upon 2. So let us check answer is coming or not. You will check the answer. Till then, I am thinking about the next question, whose solution is to be given in the same class, and we are not going sequence wise. Now I skip few of the questions as for your practice. In a class test, sum of science marks. Printing is not clear. In a class test, the sum of Cephali marks in mathematics and English is 30. Had she got 2 marks more in mathematics and 9 marks less in English, the product of their marks would have been 210. Find her marks in 2 subjects. Okay. See the solution of question 5. A girl of my class, like Falak appeared in the 2 class tests, science and mathematics, and the total marks she got is 30. In the class test, sum of, okay. So let us suppose, she got in maths. How many marks she got in maths? That is supposed by us, she got X marks or Y object, whatever you think, X marks in the maths. Therefore, marks obtained by her in English, the total of these 2 subjects is 30. Suppose if one subject she got 5 marks, then how much marks she got in another subject? But obvious, it is 25. Or you can say that if she got 23 marks in the mathematics, then how much marks she obtained in the English? 7. Because in the question it is given the sum of the marks of 2 testers got by the Cephali is equals to 30. We suppose she got in mathematics X, so what she got is English total minus marks in the first subject, that is equals to 30 minus plus 2 and 3 marks less in English. In English she got 30 minus x, so 3 less, you subtract 3. The product may be means the marks of mathematics into the marks of English, that would be 210. Compute, find her marks in 2 subjects. Now we have to solve it for x and then calculate how much marks he got in mathematics and how much marks he got in English. Okay, now we are going to solve. After that, up to this point, you have to very carefully read every single line of the question with full of your attention, because half of the solution is given in your question. If you are not able to frame the correct quadratic equation, then never you will get the right solution. Are you understanding what I am saying? Hello, children. Yes, good. So this x plus 2, 30 minus 3, 27 minus x is equals to 210. X into 27, 27x, x into minus x square plus 54 minus 2x equals to 210. 210 minus x square plus 27x minus 2x plus 25x, then plus 54 and minus 210 minus 164 minus 210 minus 50 minus 156 minus 156. When transpose 210 transpose to the other side, it becomes negative. Plus 54 and minus 2 1 more equals to minus 156. Now what we have to the right hand side? Nothing is 0. Multiply with the minus sign. X minus 25x plus 156 is equals to 0. Here, up to this mark, now you are free to adopt any of the method to find the roots of quadratic equation. This is the quadratic equation. Either you go with the quadratic formula. What was the quadratic formula? The value of variable equals to minus b plus minus root of b upon 2a. Or if you know the factors of the middle term, then you will solve it by splitting the middle terms. Or if you are able to make it as a square, so we can use the completing the square method. So all the 3 paths, whatever the path chosen by you, all the paths are correct. 156. Now we have to find 2 factors whose product is 156 and their sum is minus 25. So my dear students, minus 13 and minus 12. When we add 2 negative numbers, we always get the negative with addition. So we get minus 25 and 13 12 156 and minus into minus plus. So what are the factors? Minus 12 and minus 30. Minus 12x minus 13x plus 156 is equals to 0. So x minus 12 minus 13 is common. Again we get x minus 12, x minus 12 and x minus 13 is equals to 0. This implies that when we take this 0, when we take this 0, so x equals to 12 here. And here you will get x equals to 13. What is x? Here we get the 2 answers. What is x? Marks of Falak in mathematics. How much marks Falak got in mathematics? X. 12. So maths mark is equals to 12. If she got 12 in maths, then how much marks he got in English? 30 minus x. 30 minus 12, 18. Now you check. The sum of the marks of the 2 subject of Falak is 30 and their product is 18 into 12. 18 180 plus 36, 206. 200. Something is coming on. What happens? 18 into 12. 18, 180, 180 or 36, 216. 216. If x equals to 30, let us see. Maths mark 13, then English mark equals to 17. These are the two answers. First, if she got 12 in mathematics, then 18 in English. If she got 13 in mathematics, then she got 17 in English. But see the second question. If she got 2 more marks in mathematics, then what was the mark in mathematics? 14. This is out of the solution for your cross-checking. This is also very important. If she got 2 more marks in mathematics, then what was the marks of mathematics? 14. And 3 marks less in English. 3 marks less in English, then 15. What is the product of these two? 210. Second equation is also satisfied. Come to this case. If she got 2 more marks in mathematics, what was the marks in mathematics? 13 plus 2, 15. And 3 less marks in English. 17 minus 3, 14. Again you get 210. So this question has 2 answers. First one 12 and 18, and second one 13 and 17. Only we will solve one more word problem of this exercise. Let me be any of the remaining questions from this exercise, and then we will see how to frame the equation and whatever the step chosen by us to solve it. A train travels 360 km at a uniform speed. If its speed had been 5 km per hour more, it would have taken 1 hour less for the same journey. Find the speed of train. Okay. A train has to cover a distance of 360 km. Since it is a train, so definitely it reaches from A to B with a certain velocity, or you can say that speed, and we don't know the speed. So let the usual speed of train be x km per hour. X km per hour is the usual speed of train. That is supposed by us, so you can write here let. With a speed of x km per hour, a train travels a distance of 360 kilometers. So how much time it will take to complete the journey? You all know that time equals to distance upon speed. Time equals to distance upon speed. So this time is chosen as t1. And what is the distance to be covered? 360, and speed is x. Kilometer is cancelled with kilometer. What is our unit? Hours. So with the usual speed, train takes 360 upon x hours. And according to the question, if its speed increases by 5 km per hour, now speed is increased. Previously, train was traveling with the speed of x km per hour, but in the second case, if we increase the speed by 5 km per hour, increased. So for that we use here mathematical operation plus, and the distance covered by it is the same. Think about that. Faster we move, lesser the time. Slower we move, greater the time. So where the speed is slower, speed is lower here, and speed is greater here. So which time is greater? Clearly T1 is greater than T2. And now according to the question, what is the question given? The difference between these two times is 1 hour. A train takes 1 hour less when its speed is increases by 5 kilometers per hour. So we have to identify which time is bigger and which time is smaller. Which time is greater? T1. Why? Because speed is lesser. Which time is smaller? T2. Because its speed is greater for the same distance. So according to the question, the difference of the time. Difference means always smaller one is subtracted from the greater one, and that is equals to 1. Now you substitute the value and solve it. What is T1? 360 upon x minus 360 upon x plus 5. Solve it. 360 is common. Simplify it. First you simplify. Don't go in hurry. When we take 360 as a common, it transposes to the other side. It becomes 1 upon 360. Am I right or not? Nothing. I took 360 as a common and send it to the other side. When it goes either side of the equals to, it becomes as a divisor. Solve it. X plus 5 minus x upon, when we multiply these two denominators, we get x square plus 5x. Okay, plus x minus x not cancel, they both become 0. Never say that these two are cancelled. Plus x and minus x becomes 0. So we have 5 into 360. Let it go. 5 upon x square plus 5x equals to 1 upon 360. Again cross multiply. 1800 equals to x square plus 5x. Transpose all the things in the one side towards one side of equals to. We have x square plus 5x minus 1800 equals to 0. Now you search for the two factors. It is not mandatory. I am not, what I can say that, I am not imposing my rule on you. But I find it, the splitting of by the splitting of factor methods, that's why I am not using the quadratic formula. You are free, you may use the quadratic formula, don't worry, no problem. So we have to find two factors of minus 1800 such that their sum is positive 5. It means clearly positive number is greater and negative number is smaller, because their resultant is positive but the product is negative. When you get the product negative? When you get the product negative? When one number is positive and second number is negative, and the sum of these two numbers is positive, this indicates that positive number is better than the negative number, then their sum becomes positive. So 45 and 44 for the 180, yes, okay. I got the factors. X square plus 45x plus 45x minus 40x minus 1800 equals to 0. X is common, we have x plus 45 minus 40 is common, again we get x plus 45, whole bracket is common, x plus 45 into x minus 40 is equals to 0. Now we have two values. First we make it 0. When we make x plus 45 as a 0, we get x equals to minus 45, and from here we get x equals to 40. Again come to the concept of question. What is x? What is x? X is the speed of a train. X is the speed of a train, and you all know that speed cannot be negative. Since speed cannot be negative, then this answer becomes wrong. You may cross here. Why it is cross here? You may write. Since speed cannot be negative. Hence speed cannot be negative. Then what is the usual speed of train? 40. Therefore, speed of the train is 40. Since it is speed, so what's its units? 40 km per hour. That is your answer. Have you got? Nothing. All these things are very simple. But first you have to take the minute observation of question, because quadratic equation is not directly given to the question. You have to frame. And when you frame the quadratic polynomial, then you have no problem. So you have to bring concepts, calculation, as well as the rule of mathematics. So this is all about the question. Now we will check our answer. What answer? Dictated by us 40 km per hour, and the distance for the journey given is 360 km. So how much time it takes to cover the distance? 360 upon 40, we get 9 hours. Okay. Then if we raise the speed of train by 5 kilometers, then we raise the speed of train by 5 kilometers, it becomes 45 kilometers per hour, but the distance of journey is same. So how much time it will take now? 360 upon 45, which is 8. And what is the difference of these two time? Is equals to 1 hour. So no need of seeing the answer from the answer sheet. Always you check your answer by yourself by putting the answers in the equations formed by you. If the answer is satisfying the quadratic equation formed by you, that means your answer is correct. Few questions of this exercise are left, and tomorrow I will complete this exercise as well as the next exercise. What formula today I taught you? This is a very important. That is the discriminant. What is the discriminant? Discriminant is the property of quadratic polynomial through which we can identify whether the root for the quadratic polynomial are exist or they do not exist. How we will find it? We will find it by finding the value of d, which is known as discriminant. And discriminant d equals to b square minus 4ac. A, b and c, you are well familiar with these terms. A is the coefficient of x square, b is the coefficient of x, and c is the term which is free from the value. Now we have only two ways, either that b is equals to 0 or lesser than 0 or greater than 0. If it is equals to 0, then the roots are real and equal. If it is greater than 0, then the roots are real but unequal. In these two cases, roots exist, but if we get the value of b is lesser than 0 means negative. If the value of b becomes negative, then roots does not exist because they are imaginary. So that's all for today class. Quadratic. At the very beginning in this chapter, I told you that this is a very important chapter for your mathematics career. Till how much study you will obtain, always you have to follow these things. So my dear students, again and again, every now and then when I am in front of you, what I tell, everyone knows that. Chaman, Falak, Suleiman, Sohail, Ram Singh, yes, everyone knows that what is the important. This is not important to get the knowledge. Greater the practice, more you get the knowledge. So practice hard, and in the next class again we will meet. Till then, enjoy the mathematics. See you.